Welcome to the Operation Game Night podcast, episode 38.
38.
I'm your host. Yeah, I'm your host today, not Travis Smith. I am Clay Gable. And with me, as usual, my esteemed co-host, Jared Erickson. How you doing?
I like that you said did you say as usual? Like, usually he says like as always, and it's not always.
It's consistent.
I'm flaky at best, I'm like a Pillsbury, I'm flaky. I got butter between the layers. No.
Yeah, well, everybody loves you crispy, buttery layers, Jared. So
yum.
It works out.
Well, Clay,
I was trying to come. Oh no, go ahead.
I was gonna say, how the hell are you doing?
I'm doing good. I was a little stressed. I realized as I hit record, I hadn't prepared some witty intro. Yeah, like Travis always has. Jerry the job guy, all that business, and this episode probably people are clicking off it right now because they didn't hear Travis.
No, actually, I'm gonna make them click back onto it because if they're listening on Spotify or Apple TV or Apple whatever, they better get on YouTube because Clay, you're looking fly as hell. I don't know what brand this is that we're wearing right now, but we're feeling retro. We're giving funky fresh. We're giving Flintstones. And then we popped on tie and a little bow tie. Like, we're here to be professional, but have a good time. Almost like a mullet. Yeah. Party in the front, business. Wait, party in the back, business in the front. I can't remember.
Yeah, we're party everywhere though.
Yeah, I'm always partying. So, Clay, what are we getting into today?
Yeah, today we are obviously going to debrief our weeks like always.
Yeah,
but then we are diving into the mind of a future World Series of Board Gaming champion.
No,
Jared Erickson. We're going to do a deep dive in one of his favorite games, Lost Ruins of Arnak, and we're going to talk all the strategy tips that have propelled him to, at one point, this man almost had a 400 ELO on Lost Ruins of Arnak on Board Game Arena. So he's out there. He's fighting with some of the best of them on BGA every day. 400 and some plays. We're going to get the down and dirty scoop on how he manages to be such a menace in that game.
Well,
so really looking forward to that segment.
Buyer beware. Take everything I say with a grain of salt. I do really enjoy playing it. I won't say that it's the best strategy tips. I think there is some decent YouTubes out there with good strategy tips, but this is Jared Erickson, what I do. I won't say it's like the best by any means.
No, it's the best.
This is the Operation Game Night approved strategy. We'll just say that, it's maybe B+ level, I don't know.
Yeah.
We'll maybe we can ask Rodney. We can ask Rodney what he thinks, what grade he'll give this strategy. Does he do strategy? He just does how it's played.
No. He's just telling you how to do it.
Yeah, no strategy. Yeah. Okay.
You're telling us how to do it well.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah. All right. Well, hey, why don't you kick things off and give us a little debrief of your week in gaming, Jared?
So I had quite the week in gaming. I had multiple game nights and a game morning. The ever elusive game morning. But I'll start off my debrief with one that has not been, what do you call this? It's not to print yet, or
it's just up on Kickstarter.
It's on Kickstarter. We were lucky enough at OGN to get a hot copy of Fight for Inheritance. This one is it's got some good backstory and lore. It's a card game. They're looking for some feedback on it. It feels pretty well fleshed out. It's giving me Coup vibes. Have you ever played Coup?
Love Coup. That was one of the games I just demolished when I first got into board gaming. We played that constantly.
So obviously a lot more cards than Coup. Coup's like very simplified, and that's very like you're playing BS essentially with a small deck. There's a lot more strategy going on, maybe a lot more card counting, but there's still a lot of bluffing, still a lot of body language, and it gets the heart racing, which I'm a huge fan of. Some of the things initially, I was just like, I'm not sure how that's going to play out while we're playing it, but the game was easy to pick up. There's probably about, I don't know, 12 to 14 action cards, but at the bottom of each of these cards, as you can see on the screen, it'll tell you what the card does. Like, hey, you can look in the top 3 of the like cards of the action deck and look and see what are they. So essentially, the goal of the game is to outlast all the other opponents in this competition to win the king's inheritance. That's the name of the game, Fight for Inheritance. This crazy king, he's lost his mind. He's going to die soon. Who's going to win the king's inheritance? You have to outlast your brothers and sisters because there's assassins in the deck, okay? So you need to amass bodyguards to protect yourself from those assassins. Everyone starts off with 2 bodyguards, and another great thing about this game is it pretty much tells you in the rules. Just make up your own rules if you don't like these rules, or adjust them as needed. If you don't like 2 bodyguards, only start with 1 or start with 3. I don't care. Like, play this game and adjust it to how you guys like to play it. There's a great pick of a bodyguard. He looks menacing. He's going to fight for you. He's going to make sure that you win the king's inheritance. And the money, the gold around him, as you can see, those are also action cards. So like you could be drawing something and getting an action card, and you're like, oh, I actually pulled gold instead of an action card. Now, bodyguards are not action cards. They're their kind of own card, but you can buy bodyguards with the gold. You can also use the gold to bribe someone else's bodyguard. You can be like, hey, Randy, I want to bribe your bodyguard with 3 gold. And if he doesn't essentially re-bribe, like, actually, I'm going to pay him off. I'm going to give him 4 gold, and now I get to keep him. So, and then you both lose the gold that you use to kind of like win that bodyguard challenge, if you will. And so it's like you're stealing bodyguards. You're trying to kill off people's bodyguards too. Those are action cards. There's special bodyguards. I think they're called like royal bodyguards. I think you did show one of the cards. Those are specific bodyguards that are actually in the action deck. So you can draw those ones, but there's only a handful of them. Very, very rare to draw those ones. But yeah, it's a lot of fun. The best card, if you could go up and click that shiny one that's kind of on the far right, it's called...
Oh, I see the secret bribe.
Okay, this one's a lot of fun. It's just this random card that you'll draw into your hand, and it's a secret bribe. You're supposed to lay it down on the table, but you don't want anyone to see what you're doing. So you lay it down face up on the table, and if no one sees it face up, then for 3 turns, you can say, hey, I had a secret bribe, and then you get to steal someone's bodyguard. And but if someone sees that you had a secret bribe and they can call you out, hey, you got a freaking secret bribe on the table, I see it, you put it right there, then they call you out for the secret bribe, and you lose one of your bodyguards. So it's like risk reward. That's what got my heart thumping. Okay. And it's got to be face up. Like you got to have it. Well, I think in the rules it says you can kind of cover it up or kind of hide it a little bit, but we played, it had to be face up in plain sight. And so it was stressful. But it got my heart racing. I swear they were looking right at it, but it was hiding in plain sight. They didn't see it. It was like hidden right by my elbow. They weren't even looking. And then I got to steal one of their bodyguards. A lot of fun. This game. Wow. I don't know what kind of we give Kickstarter like medals. I don't know, like a.
Yeah, we'll have to workshop that. But I did say it was on Kickstarter. It is launching soon. So if that sounds interesting to you, go to Kickstarter, Fight for Inheritance, and you can get notified when it actually launches and you can back this game. Yeah. Sounds like it was a lot of fun, Jared.
Dude, I had a blast.
Tense, exciting, bluffing gameplay.
Yes. Big bluffer. Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Bluffing hard. All right. Well, anything else on Fight for Inheritance before you talk about one of our favorite trick-taking games?
No, just another shout out to was it Red Cannon? Red Cannon Games for hooking us at OGN up with a hot copy, and we loved it. So. And it plays ages 8 and up, and I'm about to play it probably this week with my babysitter family. Like they have kids that range from 8 and up, and they are gonna freaking love this one. So
yeah, I can imagine lying, being deceitful.
Oh, I mean,
cusses, man.
Oh yeah.
Well, let's talk about Skull King.
Yes. So had Tanner back over, and he's from the Midwest. He loves himself a good game of spades. But Skull King, what a great trick-taking game. I even brought on the score sheet just to make sure everybody knows, including Tanner, that I kicked his ass last night. I got 60 points, and he was -30, and Sarah was -10. So apparently you just got to be in the positives to win. But what you do is, as the game progresses, you get more and more cards into your hand. So you are just like most trick-taking games, you have to set a goal of how many tricks you're going to win. And there are suits, and you lead off with the suit, and you have to follow the suit. And if someone plays a trump card, they can win the trick. And so, at the very beginning of the game, there's only one card. Everyone's dealt one card, and whoever starts the turn, sets the suit. And if they have the green 2 and they set the suit at green, and everyone else has yellow, they're going to win with a green 2. And so, but that's only one card. And then you keep going all the way till 10. So now you got 10 cards in your hand, and there's mermaids, and there's freaking pirates, and the Skull King. And the Skull King, he's got a mermaid kink. Okay. He gets, if he sees a mermaid, he loses his mind. He falls into the water, and mermaids can mess up a Skull King, because the Skull King's at the very top. He can beat anybody and everybody except for the mermaids. But the mermaids, they get taken out by the pirates. The pirates, they've been on the water a long time. They're like, screw these mermaids. I've seen them before. I know what they do. I've heard the Sirens song. I'm not going to fall for that stuff. And but the Skull King, he's a sucker. He's a sucker. And so had a blast with this one. It's really fun. It's also really cool. One of my favorite mechanics of the game too is, if you say, I don't know, what do you call it when you say, I'm not going to take any, I'm going to take 0 bags.
Just bidding 0 or going nil or whatever.
Going nil. Yeah. I'm not going to win any. So if I say I'm not going to win any, you're going to score however many points. So however many the round is times 10. So if it's the 6th round times 10, you're going to score 60 points if you actually don't win any that round. And so I was able to do that last night. I can't remember what round I'll just look at the score sheet.
Yeah, you have
7.
it right there.
I did it on round 7. And
Wow.
I had a couple trump too. And I'm like, I bet you I could freaking sneak these under some mermaids and some pirates. And I did.
Yeah. That's beautiful.
So when you go nil, it really pays off in Skull King. But the last thing I have to say about this game, which is my absolute favorite, is the beginning of every round. You put your fist into the middle of the table and you go, yo, ho, ho. And that's how you tell the other players how many bags or how many tricks you're going to take. And then you stick out your fingers like, I'm going to take 2. So you go, yo, ho, ho. And you have your 2 fingers out. And everyone else has like 3 fingers out. And you're like, what the hell? We only need like 4. Like there's only 4 tricks. And we're showing 7. Like,
yeah, somebody's in trouble.
3 people, or like there's going to be 3 people that are not going to be happy. And so, anyways, huge fan of Skull King. Grandpa Beck strikes again. Okay.
Yeah, you like cover your assets too, right?
I love cover your assets. Huge fan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Grandpa Beck's killing it at the Erickson house. How many people did you play with? Just you and Tanner?
No, we had 3.
Okay,
one of my friends that's in my class here in Maxwell, she came over.
Nice.
So we had.
Was she a Spades player?
She not as much. She's from the Pacific Northwest, but she caught on super quick. I mean, she's played a lot of hearts. She said so.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, if you played a trick-taking game, any of them, you can pick this up pretty quick. Did they enjoy it?
Oh, everyone loved it.
Did they put it in their Amazon cart?
I told them to. If not, I might just have to send it to them for them.
Yeah. Oh, that's the true test. Usually a small game like this, if it really pops off, people are just ordering that thing on the way home. They're like, yeah, I need that.
Oh, yeah. I mean, this is a great stocking stuffer. It's right in a stocking. Back pocket. This Skull King is perfect small box game. Did this go on the small box episode?
I think it was in the bracket.
Did it go big?
I don't know. I don't think it made it very far, honestly.
Man.
Unfairly, but that was a bracket that was full of just absolute bangers. So
So one thing that I was going to ask you about this one is there's like an advanced version of like an advanced rule set. I don't know what that is. There's like
whales and stuff. Or something?
We did not get into
played
that,
with it.
But hey, listener, if you've played with the advanced rules, please hit us up on Instagram. Let us know what you think. It also plays up to 8 players. That's another big
crazy
one.
Yeah, big plus.
Ages 8 to 99. If you're 100 years old, sorry, don't come knocking. But it's a lot of fun.
Playing Skull King.
Nope.
Yeah. Play something else, not Skull King.
Yep. All right. Well, Clay, what kind of trouble did you get into this week?
Yeah. So before I talk about the game I'm actually going to debrief, I got to say, last week, Cam talked about Critter Kitchen.
Yes.
I got visibly excited in the episode as he described it because it sounded so much fun, kind of bidding for priority at different locations with your different small, medium, and large animals where one can carry more, one can carry less, but it gets to go first. That sounded so fun to me. I bought it right away. Mm-hmm. And since then, I've played it 3 times this week, which to play a game 3 times, period, in my collection is crazy.
Yeah.
To play it 3 times in a week is unheard of.
Yeah.
I played it once with the kids. They loved it. I played it once with Mary, just me and her, 2 players. She loved it. And then we played it last night with the Heddens at 4 players. And it was awesome there too.
Yeah.
I loved it in every circumstance. Critter Kitchen is a knockout for me.
Yeah.
So I don't want to get into it because we already talked about it a lot last week. But if we hadn't, I would be talking about Critter Kitchen because I'm super excited about that game. It's food themed, cute animals.
Yeah.
And it's got a fun little bidding mechanism that kind of makes the whole thing go. And I've been having a blast with
So
it.
I just have one question though. What was your favorite animal to use? The big one that gets a lot, or the little guy that goes get one really specific item?
They all have their purpose, right? If I knew there was one ingredient at a spot that I really wanted, I would send my little mouse.
Yeah.
I'd be like, you know what, you got to get that high valued mushroom.
Yeah.
But I did like sending the boar out and hoping that he ended up alone at a location and he could just haul back a whole load of stuff.
Yeah.
So I mean that core gameplay is just endlessly amusing to me. So I look forward to showing it to more people.
Yes. Yeah. We were chatting on the portal this morning with Mason, and he seemed to really be thrilled about Critter Kitchen. So
yeah,
that's
definitely great family game.
Yeah, I'm all about it. But I am stoked to hear about Foundations of Rome.
Yes. So it has been a long time since I played Foundations of Rome. I don't know why. It just sits there in this massive box.
It's huge.
It's hard to ignore. and somehow I've ignored it. It just, fell out. I played it probably like 20 times in the first year I got it. I loved it. I still love it. But last night, Scott and Brittany were coming over. I'm like, you know what? I kind of want to have a little bit of a spectacle,
Yeah.
And this game is a spectacle, all right?
Oh, it's beautiful.
The production on this thing is amazing. Each player gets their own little carrier that has all their little building pieces in it. And these are massive building miniatures. I mean, and it just all fits so nicely in there. They all have their little indented slots that show, what rewards you get when you end up placing them out in the middle of Rome. But before I go too nuts on the production, the production's crazy. All right. This game's a 1 point something weight, and it's got the production of like a, crazy CMON game that's going to cost you $300.
Yeah.
So I like that. I don't think that only big, heavy games should be rewarded with an amazing tactile experience that draws you to the table. This is a lightweight game that has the table presence and tactility of something you would, expect in a heavier game. And that's why I got it. I was like, you know what? I have all these games with all these cool minis, but no one will play them with me because they're too hard. So I got this. I was like, this game, I get that same feeling of getting to play with cool toys.
Mm-hmm.
And I can also teach it to anybody because what you're doing is really simple. On your turn, there's a shared map of Rome. It's like a 9x9 grid, and each spot on the grid has a number and a letter like A5, B5, and those are lots of land that you can purchase. And on your turn, you can either purchase a lot of land by claiming it from the deed row, and then you put your little lot marker on it. Say you have a couple lot markers out there on your turn, you could also remove your lot markers and replace it with a building of the correct shape. Or if you're out of money, you can take income, which you always can take 5 coins, and then you get more coins based on how many commercial buildings you have out. So it's a really simple core gameplay where you claim lots, build buildings, or take income. And the way all the buildings interact on the map is what is so cool, because you have these commercial buildings that get you money and points at the end of every round. Then you have these population buildings. And at the end of every round, whoever has the most population gets a bonus. But everybody that didn't have the most population scores points based on the population of who's ahead of them. So it's this like interesting little jockeying position on this population track. So that's why you're putting out the population buildings. And then the last type of building are civic buildings, which these are the most interesting buildings because they get you points based on what they're adjacent to. Mm-hmm. So if who I'm playing with, they built all these beautiful people buildings out there, I can just plop my little civic building that gets me points every round or every civic building it's next to.
No matter
no matter whose they are.
Even your own.
So even your own. So it's so cool the way, everything you do matters, and you're trying to see what other people are doing and just trying to sneak those little civic buildings in where you can get some points off somebody. It is just such a fun game
Yes.
that is so simple to teach and has an amazing table presence. I I want to play it again and again now after just playing it.
Oh,
It can feel a little overwhelming at times. Like the gameplay is so simple and fast, but there's a lot to think about on your turn. You know, when you look at those, I think there's 6 lots up for that you can buy like at any time.
yeah.
And you have to kind of like see where all those lots are on the board. It's like, is that adjacent to one of my other lots? So I can make this big building that's going to be worth a ton of points. Or do I want to get this lot that's over here next to somebody else's little district because I want to mooch off of their hard work? You know, there's just a lot to think about when you're buying those lots of land, and like what type of building you want to put out, where. But yeah, Foundations of Rome, great game.
Yep.
Way too expensive for what it is. But you know, if you want to have something that's going to get people's attention and you're able to actually teach it to them, this is a great game.
Yeah.
And if the gameplay sounded fun and you're like, but I don't want to spend a fortune for all these fancy components, they just came out with Foundations of Metropolis, which is the same game, but in a regular size box. I think it just has tiles you put out instead of these big minis. But so now they have a much more affordable version of Foundations of Rome in Foundations of Metropolis. Awesome. But it's a great gameplay, pretty quick. We played 4 players, probably about 60 minutes.
Click on buy a copy. Is any used copies cheap?
Where's buy a copy?
The green button on BGG. Oh. This is where Jared, go to see. Is this scroll up a little bit? Geek Market is looking tough. Okay, this is $300 used.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Okay. Yikes. Okay.
Hey, there's an English one for 200. All right.
Okay. Yikes.
Yeah, those were other countries.
So you're not getting rid of this one, right? Like,
I'm not getting rid of this one
because I dare.
I got it on their website for like, I think I bought it for like 140 from their website.
Wow.
But it doesn't have like, I mean, it's tricked out. It's got all the minis, but they also had like an even more tricked out version with like metal coins and expansions and things. So you can really,
Clay, if you're ever considering getting rid of this game, don't you dare. And you give me a call. Okay.
Okay.
And then also, Mary, I want you to hear this. This is an investment. Did you hear that? He bought it at 140. And now we're looking at 340 pounds. That's UK right there. So, I mean, these are investments here. But Metropolis, I'll look at Foundations of Metropolis. So that's awesome.
Yeah, no, great gameplay. Yeah. And again, like I said, I love the fact it was polarizing that they made such a light game so expensive.
Yeah. People
were like, what the hell? Why would you make a game that's a 1.8 weight on BGG cost $150? No one's going to buy it.
Yeah.
And I get that, but also I love having it. So what am I going to say, you know?
I mean, win in Rome. I mean, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Mary got this for me for my birthday a few years ago.
That's Mary being Mary. She's great.
Yeah, she's all right.
We're Team Mary here.
Let me see if I can find out Foundations of Metropolis.
You know, while you're pulling that up, I got a bone to pick with Scott and Brittany because they keep kicking my ass at terraforming Mars. So if you could tell them to chill on BGA, they are absolutely mopping me on the carpet. But
oh, geez.
Oh, here we go.
Yeah. So same thing. You're shared building out a city.
Yes.
And it's just without the minis. So
no minis.
You can get this for a reasonable price.
I can't, tickle my fingers through the ivory columns. It's fine. But the vibe is still the same. It looks good. I like it. I'm still into it. Yeah.
Yeah. It's even got the same little player mat too, just not the big minis. And I think this looks like a great option. This is actually the first time I'm looking at it. And it's cool. It's like a modern city type theme, it looks like, where you're putting out shopping malls and restaurants instead of coliseums and whatever else you're doing in Foundations of Rome. So yeah, Foundations of, check either one of them out. If you're feeling a little frivolous, check out that Geek Market.
Yeah. Oh,
all right. We've debriefed.
I was gonna actually. Can I revisit something actually? So Tanner came by last night, and he brought over Blokus. You don't need to pull it up, but when you were talking,
I like to pull stuff.
I know. You can if you want. Have we played Blokus before?
No.
Have you played it? No. You know what I'm talking about? It's like this little tile placement. It's quick. Foundations of Rome is like a more nuanced version of that, I feel like. This one is like straight up place a tile, go see how far you can get. And we played at 4 with Adri and Sarah.
Oh,
and
Adri in the mix, huh?
Oh yeah, she was into it. And here I am playing my game. We played a couple rounds. It wasn't until like the 4th game we played, and I realized that the name is called Blokus because you're kind of trying to block people. I thought it was like block us, as in these little tiles are kind of like blocks, but actually you're trying to block people from getting into your space. Because you can kind of use your tiles, and they're very Tetris-y kind of vibes. But the only real rule of the game, and that's why it's like 5 and up. Ike and Macy would really like this game. But you literally, your color, you can keep placing your color tiles as long as you go touch tip to tip. You cannot go broad face on broad face. It just has to be a corner. Corners can only touch, never broad-faced. And you have like, I don't know, like maybe 20-ish Tetris-y tiles, and all of the tiles have different shapes and angles, but they're orthogonal. They're like all squared up.
That's weird.
But you can, but like the game starts from the corners, and then you can spread out however you want to spread out. And initially, I was just like, I would just try and beeline for the center and then like go towards my enemies. But Tanner, he's the one who brought it, and he would like kind of turtle up. He was more defensive, but he kept winning. And I'm like, what the hell, dude? I don't know what that picture is. Oh, these guys are just doing art. But then that's when I realized that the name of the game is Block Us, and you're trying to like block people out. And so he was being really smart about it, and I was not. And so he absolutely throttled us and block us, but don't sleep on this one. So you can like go to the other players' areas, and then as long as you're going tip to tip, you could slip into their areas. And
oh my God. It looks like
spreading out.
Blue and red have really intermingled in this
big time.
In this photo here.
Yep.
Yeah. They've gotten all up in each other's business.
Yep. Red, like where your mouse is, like red could slip even more into blue and just start moving anywhere. There. Yep. Right there. She can go tip to tip and slip right into that open space. And Travis is going to hate me talking about tip to tips and slipping and all that. So cut that.
I won't cut it. I'm in charge this week, Travis.
Bow ties are on.
Where are you anyway, Travis? What's he doing?
I don't know, man. Come on.
He didn't really even tell us. He's just like, yeah, I can't these next like month.
You know what he's doing?
He moving from Germany or something?
He's trying to soak up his last few hours over there in Europe. I don't blame him,
Yeah.
Don't blame him.
Yeah.
But this is what happens when our fearless leader runs away. when the cat's away, the mice will play, kind of thing.
Yep. These mice are playing. Wait till he finds out where you're taking us through a BGA tour of Lost Ruins of Arnak.
Yeah, this might go horribly bad, but I'm into it.
I think it's gonna go well.
I'm
Should
excited.
we go to it?
Are we about to go on the main event? Is that what he's?
Yeah.
No, wait, the main objective. So let's roll out.
Mission objective.
Yeah. What is he? He kind of gets. He's got like a deep voice. He's like, "All right, are we? Yeah. Did we do it? No, wait, that's at the end. He does that one at the end.
Yeah.
Are we ready to roll out?
Hit the mission objective. That's what he says.
The mission objective.
You betcha, Travis.
Yeah, let's do it.
I mean, Dad. All right. You know what? Let's just go ahead and bring up a little bit of your credentials here.
Oh, what?
I talked on it on the beginning, but we're talking about a guy who's invested a lot of time.
Oh my gosh.
In the Lost Ruins of Arnak.
Oh,
so
wow.
421 games played, 189 victories, currently at a 288 elo. But you can see here, he was cresting towards 400. I don't know what's been happening as of late.
I think that's when Gemma was born, and then it's gone.
Yeah,
it's gone down.
But this is the guy who's earned his stripes in Lost Ruins of Arnak. And he will beat your average person to a silly pulp like he does to me and Travis and every other person that isn't a BGA enthusiast like him.
Gosh.
So it's time to get into how you think about Lost Ruins of Arnak and what you're looking for as you play this game. So if you would like to, I'm going to turn it over to your screen share here.
Oh, yeah. Well, what we've done here for the listener and poor Travis is we set up a quick game on BGA just to show back and forth maybe the starting first couple games of Arnak. I'm not going to teach you how to play Arnak, but maybe what I think about while I'm playing Arnak. So this isn't if you want to learn how to play, go Rodney will teach you how to play this game. But so maybe this is like a 200 level course. Maybe this is not a 100 level course. So the real simple though, you should know that you start off with 6 cards, but you have 6 cards in your hand or in your starting deck, and you start with 5. So every time that I see my hand when I start the game, I'm always like, okay, what did I start with? How many fear do I have? And how many compasses do I have? That's really what I look at when I look at my starting hand in Arnak, because that tells me if I'm going to be able to go to the middle area this round or not. And it also depends on if I'm going first or second. I think in this game too, you're more likely to win if you go second. I don't know. I think that's the case because there's almost like a second mover's advantage type vibe going on, because I get a compass if I go second. And you can see my screen. Clay is going first. So he gets...
Yeah, I'm going to do something. I'm going to do something quick. Probably ill-advised. This is not a strategy you would go for. I'm selling some coinage and I'm going to buy a card.
I mean, you can do that. I'm
going to buy the machete.
Sure.
Because I always spend as much money as possible whenever visiting the market.
Yeah. I mean, that's what...
So that's my strategy. Yeah. So now let's get to what you're doing.
So Clay, he did not block me on any of the camp locations down on the bottom row, which that's beautiful for me. But
shoot.
So I go second, and I did get my 2 compasses. So this is good for me because I could sell my 2 compasses, and now I can travel to the middle row this round. And Clay can't block me because there's friggin' 8 locations for me to go to. So I'll save that for my second archaeologist because he can't block me. So where do I want to put my first archaeologist? That's where I'm going to go now. So he didn't put anyone down here, so I'm going to choose where I want to go. Honestly, Clay, I wouldn't buy a card first. I would try and get a freaking arrowhead or a ruby first. And honestly,
Okay.
and this is what Dallin always does. If you're a listener, longtime listener to the podcast, Dallin is my play buddy that I've been playing Arnak with for about 4 years, nonstop. Every day I'm playing Arnak with Dallin, and he kicks my ass more than 50% of the time. So really, you should be interviewing Dallin. But me and Dallin, essentially, it's a race to see who goes here to get the arrowhead. Unless there's some key cards up here to buy. One of the what are these? The artifact or the item cards? Yeah.
Yes.
And I wouldn't say the machete is one that I would shoot my shot on. Just throwing that out there.
Well, it cost 4, so it had to be good.
Maybe. I don't know. One I would shoot my shot on is the airplane. The airplane is awesome. That one lets you travel to any location for 2 compasses less. That one's huge. So you could go to one of these middle locations, discover a new site for only 1 compass. That's huge. So I would have done what you did if it was the airplane, but not today.
So you know what you're looking for up there. So if it's not there,
you got to read the tea leaves. So today I'm going to go for the arrowhead, and then I'm going to let you decide what you're going to do now.
Okay. Well, you know what? You gave me a lot of grief about my first decision, but now you talked about rubies. I'm going to go ahead and go to that ruby spot.
Nice.
And get one of those because I'm moving up the temple track. How's that? When do you start prioritizing that?
So honestly, the first round, not as much unless you see certain assistants that you really like. Something I like to do is look for ones that kind of pair well with what cards are shown too. Maybe, I don't know what her name is. This assistant, this lady right here, that you trade in a gold for an arrowhead or a ruby.
Okay.
I really like this lady. She is great, but she will suck you dry for money, right? So you need to make sure that if you get this lady, you better have cards that will feed you cash, or else when you get to the higher levels in the research track, you're going to run out of cash, and it's going to hurt you in the long run. So be careful with this one. I don't know, this assistant who lets you buy either an item or an artifact for 1 less is nice. Maybe not one that I would rush to block you out of. So I'd say the most valuable assistant in my eyes is the assistant that gives you 2 gold. And then when you upgrade the assistant, it gives you 3 gold. That's probably my favorite assistant. So if I see that assistant, I might try and position myself to get an assistant first round, which is kind of hard to do. You have to go to the middle level and to be able to do that. I might try and get to the middle level this first time to see if I can snag this pretty lady. We'll see if I can do it. I don't know if I can, but
you can do it.
Let's see. Where am I at? I have already moved one of my archaeologists. I have 1 to go. I have 3 compasses, and the only travel I have is a boat. What I could do is I could go to this location, this boat location, which would give me a compass bonus, and that would set me up nicely to research this research space, which would give me a compass and or I'd have to pay a compass and an arrowhead to go there.
Yeah.
I could also go to this location, which upgrades that arrowhead to a ruby to go here.
Okay.
It gets me the same outcome, but I actually prefer a compass arrowhead vice a ruby, because if you go to here, it gives you more options. You can go to either one of the next locations. That's maybe
Oh my gosh.
another
You think
option,
about all that.
another option to think about, Clayton. Give
Okay. Wow.
yourself more flexibility in the future stages of the game. So,
I never even looked at that.
yeah, I don't know. Like, maybe what can we summarize what we've talked about so far? Set yourself up for traveling to the middle row as much as you can. Set yourself up for flexibility.
Okay.
Look for key cards or assistance. Maybe those are like my first round kind of things to think
Okay.
about. So, and again, we kind of talked about this with Vic on his podcast. When I decide to travel this location, I don't know what's about to hit me. So now you just have to react to whatever happens. See, now I'm flushed with fear. I have a lot of fear. I have another ruby, and it's scary out here, but we'll have to figure out what to do from there. But I did just set myself up to get an assistant, though, because now look, I could go ruby to push up my eyeglass, and arrowhead compass to push up my booklet. So I could get an assistant this round if I wanted to.
You're getting a lot done in this first round. I think I'm gonna go ahead and I have a ruby. I don't like holding on to things, so I'm just gonna go ahead and push myself up this track with little options.
Yep.
And that's my turn.
Okay. I'm gonna go take my own advice and move my eyeglass here to give myself more flexibility. The one thing I don't super like about getting the assistant the first round is it's going to cost me a lot of cash, and then I can't invest in cards. So what you were talking about is actually very profound, Clayton, earlier. Investing in these cards, getting that machete this first round can help inform your strategy like later on in the game. Like investing in cards early pays dividends later on in the game, like big time. Because too many times I've played games where I get so excited about the research track or trying to get these bonuses, because these are tasty little bonuses on the research track. Like if I were to beat Clay to the next level of the research track, like I could, discard a card before him, but like at what cost? You know what I'm saying? At what cost?
Yeah. I mean, I am going to hit up another one of the base camp sites because I have not set myself up for middle row travel. But I'm going to think about the future and get some compasses.
Oh, there you go.
So that next round, I'm getting out there right away.
There you go.
I have no boot. I have soiled my pants in front of everybody.
No.
I am going to waste an archaeologist. That is, so you are getting two sides of the spectrum here. You're seeing someone do it really well, and you're seeing somebody I've played a lot of games of Lost Ruins of Arnak, and that's pretty embarrassing that I just
You got really
Wasted.
excited about the machete.
Yeah, I wasted an
You
archaeologist.
spent a lot of coinage to get there, didn't you? And then
You find yourself like this, where you've now just let your archaeologist sit in camp and you have to pass. You've really messed up.
yeah,
You might as well concede.
that might be the number one Operation Game Night rule: is never leave your archaeologist at home. Always
Oh my God.
employ your archaeologist. Okay.
Yeah, that's a bum.
Here's another little thing that I don't mind doing, but it's tough in this position. Is I don't mind letting the monster give me a fear card if I know I want to go there next time. And I know I'm going to be the first player next round because you're going to give me the first player token, and I'm going to go first. But this one's tough because if I go there next time, I'm going to get a fear card. And if I don't kill this monster, he's going to give me a fear. So that means I'm going to have like 5 freaking fear cards in my hand in the first round. And that's not good. That's not a good look. But
so are you going to try and deal with this right now? Or are you just going to...
I don't know if I actually can. There's not a lot of good options for me. This is also another tough situation for trying to do this live. We have not prepared this situation. If we did this live together with the actual board game, maybe we could have set this up. But we're just doing it live.
Yeah,
So
you just researched?
I'm gonna get the assistant. I'm going against my judgment. I'm not investing in my future. I just lied to everybody.
I really when I play this game and I don't win much, but the one thing that I can wrap my head around that I like doing is beating Guardians and getting those 5 points. Is that something you care about, or are those 5 points pretty much inconsequential compared to climbing the research track?
I like the I like getting the bonuses from killing the Guardians.
Yeah.
And I always try to get like 4 killed Guardians by the end of the game.
Oh.
That's like a good goal. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's kind of my vibe, is like 4 not killed. I think you overcome them,
Yes.
We want to
polite way
tame
to say
them.
Yeah. Well, yeah, they give you a benefit then, because you didn't kill them. You're going to ride it around or whatever.
Yeah, they're part of my crew. What do you think, Clay? In this position, I can't fix him. I could turn in my idle bonus and get a trap, and I could trap him.
Oh, here's another good point of discussion for the strategy.
Yes.
What's your view on idle bonuses? How and when to employ them? Do you ever not use them all? Because I use those things as soon as I can. I've never not filled all 4 of those spots.
I always need to at near the end of the game, I'll just be doing like math in my head. Like, if I push this up, what am I going to get out of it? So I don't just blindly do it. In the beginning of the game, I'm like, send it. Like, I want to keep like moving the game along. I probably would say the most used idle bonus that I do use is either getting a arrowhead or getting a coin and a compass to either get a card that I really like, or something like that.
Okay.
Let's see. Instead of going back to this middle row and getting another fear card, because I already have so much fear, I'm just going to use my bear trap, and so I can get the free idle bonus and kill one of my 4 guardians that my goal is.
So wait, what's the bear trap do?
The bear trap, you do have to discard it, but you automatically kill a guardian that is at an empty location.
Oh, okay. Nice.
But anyways, what else could we talk about? We're not going to play this whole game, Clay. I just want to I just want to be clear.
Yeah, no, I was trying to find a good way to
Transition
figure
here.
out where we should quit.
Here's another thing that I also like to do. I like to invest in item cards that let me get more compasses. I feel like compasses are like a critical, I don't know, it's like a center of gravity, if I were to use some more military terminology here.
Yeah.
Like this automobile is nice. It's tough because this costs a lot. Yeah. This chronometer, also nice. Like, you know, I do like investing in things where like you can pass to gain big things, and like it's tough though, because any time you have to pass with a card to gain a big reward, it's like you're shorthanding yourself. And I am all about deck builders where you're drawing a lot of cards and you know, building a big old engine. So I'm really drawn to drawing a lot of cards. But I feel like something about compasses that really get me going. But
okay. Well, so a couple more questions for you.
Yes.
The artifact cards.
Yes.
How often and how valuable are they, and how often you try to get those? Because they cost compasses, which are, you know, prized possessions there.
I feel like it's a good balance between traveling to a new location and the artifact cards. That's why I feel like I need to phone a friend to get Dallin on the phone. Because I feel like he's got it down. I don't know if he goes, I feel like he prioritizes the blue cards over going to a new spot.
Really?
Because I think eventually blue cards that he gets will eventually help him travel to more new locations.
I mean, they got airplanes. I find myself only looking at the blue cards when I have nothing else to do.
Yeah.
And I do like that you can play them right away.
Yes. So they give you immediate bonus.
Yeah. But it does suck when you have to pay that tablet to use them the next time.
Yep.
So I don't know. I've never really gotten a good feeling. Like I said, I usually just do it when there's nothing else I got going on for me, and I found myself with a lot of compasses. Are you phoning a friend?
I might have to phone a friend, but I'm going to ask him blue card or travel.
I mean, God, it's got to be travel, right? I mean, you travel, you have a chance to overcome a guardian for 5. You get a slew of resources.
You get 3 points for the little idle bonus.
Yeah.
And then if you get kill the guardian, or you tame the guardian, that's 5.
Yeah.
And the bonus from that. And you get a lot of extra sweet resources. Like,
I just can't.
Dang.
I can't see spending on this really, unless I just went nuts with compasses somehow. Well, here's another travel discussion. When are you looking to go to that top row, or do you even care? Would you rather go to the middle row a bunch of times versus go to the top row?
I love the top row.
Yeah.
I think I try to hit the top row, maybe night 3 or 4. Some really, really good players that I've seen, I can't figure out their strategy. They always kick my ass. So maybe I need to change my strategy. Some of them can get to the top row night 2. Like,
Really?
yeah. I don't think I've ever seen anyone, maybe. I don't think
I guess it wouldn't
anyone,
be
I don't
that
know if it's
hard.
possible to get to the top row night 1, but I've seen
I
people
don't
do
know
it
if it
night
is.
2 for sure.
Night, I could do it night 2, but I feel like I would have sacrificed a lot. I would have, went to that little compass campsite twice in a row. I wouldn't have spent any compasses, and then, maybe by the end of night 2, I had 6.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I could see how I could do it by completely ignoring everything else, but I get the feeling that these people aren't ignoring everything else just to go to the third row.
To get to the top row, you definitely need to get a lot of research bonuses. You get a lot of compasses from your eyeglass moving up, and then you get a huge 3 compass bonus once your booklet gets to above this level, which is what I don't know, like 5th level up. So I don't usually get there until night 3, 4. Like it takes me a while to get it up there, and at that point you've already upgraded your assistance twice. So hopefully you've got an assistant that helps you travel or gives you good compasses already, because a lot of the assistants already give you compasses. Like most of the assistants have a compass built in. So I don't know. I might have Dallin might have to. I don't know. He probably won't give me his strategy, because then
I can't imagine he will.
I'll just reverse psychology him, and
yeah,
maybe I'll start winning for a change, But I'd be interested to see like what does Dallin do, because I feel like he definitely has a way to do things. And when I did play with him live over Christmas, which was an absolute blast because we played with the expansion and it changes everything. The expansion is so fun. Like he was like, "Oh, I love that card. Every time I see that card, I love it." Which for me, I already mentioned the airplane. I also love the dog card, and I love a good dog. But the dog gives you a compass and any of the bottom row that's unoccupied. Oh, great dog.
Yeah.
Dog card.
Yeah.
Great. So that one could potentially give you 3 compasses in one card, which is incredible. So,
yeah. Okay, my last question before I'll quit picking your brain on this game. Research track. How high do you try to get? Do you have a goal for every game? Do you always want to be trying to get your compass up into that, top row there? And because you can get a lot of points when you get to the top of that track.
yes.
Especially if you then can also grab some of those tiles, those like 11, 6, and 2 point tiles.
I would say when me and Dallin play together, if we both don't make it to the top row up here, we both know it was a bad day. So we're both making it. We're both making it to the top. I would say usually we're getting a bonus tile from the. I don't know what these are called. What are these called? Golden temple tiles. Temple tiles.
Okay. Yeah.
I've had Dallin get to the top row, get both of the golden temple tiles.
No.
Yes.
That's crazy.
He's dropped 3 figures on me multiple times.
Wow.
That's what I'm saying. Dallin, we should do a part 2, and Dallin should be on this.
Okay, so that's your eyeglass getting up there. Do you care how far your book makes it after you get your second gold assistant, or no?
points wise, your booklet's not getting you nearly as many points. Like, so if your eyeglass gets to the second highest location, you're getting 12 points. If it's getting to the one below the top row, you're getting 16. So that's a 4-point jump going one spot. If it goes one more, that's a 7-point jump. So it's like exponential. It's like not completely exponentially, but kind of, right? You're growing tons each time you're going one more step, but it's getting harder and harder each step, right? Like, that very top row is a ruby, compass, and a gold. And that can be tough. But by the end of that, by that time, maybe that's night 4, maybe it's night 5. Your assistants should definitely be fully. They should be flipped over to their gold side. They are humming.
So you're always getting 2 gold assistants.
Oh, 100%. That's a minimum. But maybe booklet chills out, and maybe you don't necessarily get booklet all the way to the top because, sorry, I lost my train of thought. That was my ADHD. Sorry. Your booklet only scores 2 each time it goes up. It goes 2 points, 4 points, 6 points, 8 points.
It's linear.
Points. It's linear. Did you teach math? I heard you guys talking about bumping elbows about being combatives instructors at the Air Force Academy while I was teaching math, being a big nerd. Thank you.
Yeah, freaking nerd. You hear me drop that linear on you?
Yeah, you dropped linear. I loved it. So it's linear. So you don't get as much. You don't get that extra bonus. But the booklet bonus is big because look and see what the top bonus is for when you do get your booklet to the top row. You kill off a guardian for free, and that's 5 points. So it is a big deal. So, but you must line yourself up to get a guardian. You need to be at a location to kill or to tame a guardian to even make that a useful move. So sometimes I don't get my booklet all the way up there. I need to get my eyeglass to the top to feel good about myself. So
wow. Well, Jared, I think this has been great. Hopefully everybody out there who's playing Lost Ruins of Arnak, you listen to this, you're going to bust it out with your friends and family and just drop a hundo on them. You'll be up there grabbing 2 gold temple tiles, and they're going to be like, what did you do? And you'll be like, listen, I got the airplane round 1. I made sure I had 2 gold assistants.
Yep.
And I freaking got that eyeglass up to the top. It's awesome to hear somebody that thinks about these things so strategically. When I just pop open the thing, I'm like, I have a ruby. I will go up the spot that lets me go up with a ruby.
It's just clicking around.
Yep, just clicking around.
Yep.
Oh man, that was cool.
So
I want to do this again with Feast for Odin.
Oh,
yeah.
So Dallin, he did hit me up. He says the priority is definitely a new spot, unless it's a top tier blue card. So he knows there's a tiered system of the cards. So
wow.
So again, he sees the cards. He knows what he likes. So
yeah. Okay, anyways. Study the cards too.
Yeah.
You know?
If you're an Arnak expert out there, please hit us up. Maybe we can put together like a panel of Arnak experts. Is Arnak on World Series of?
I don't know. I should hope so.
I don't think so. I should know this. I need to start getting ready. Ready for my World Series of board game.
You're not doing a great job getting your butt kicked by Scott and Brittany at Terraforming
Mars is on the list, but
yeah.
So Sarah, I mentioned Sarah a couple times in the podcast, and actually you can see her name right there. Glass. What is it? I can't read it on your screen.
Glassbane.
Glassbane. She is one of my helpers training me on Terraforming Mars. I got her hooked up on Board Game Arena, and we are playing some Terraforming Mars so I can get some more reps and sets.
Yep.
But
well, we are looking forward to continuing to follow your training.
Thank you.
And benefit from your strategy advice, Jared, as the strategy wizard amongst the three of us, the one that will play the same game over and over again.
Yep.
Yeah, not me, that's for sure. So it's cool to hear your thought process. But aside from kicking butt and Lost Ruins of Arnak, what you been doing outside of board gaming, Jared?
You know, I'm a no one's surprised by this, but I'm a bit of a cheap ass. So I've been preparing myself for the move up to Virginia, and I have been scavenging for boxes. So I've been hustling. I've found some wardrobe boxes. I've put out some feelers, and people kind of know me as the box guy around work now. And I have people that kind of work for me now. They're like, "Hey, yo, Jerry, I know there's this guy. He just moved here. He's got boxes. You interested?" And they give me the deets. They hit me up on Teams. They give me the location. I show up in a shadowy corridor. I get the boxes. I put them in the back of my car, and I'm gone.
Solid.
So
that's solid.
That's how I'm going to save some money, and I'm going to beat inflation and try and save some more money for Gemma's education.
I'll just send her to the Air Force Academy, man. She don't need to save for
I don't
that.
know if she needs to go there. Are we going to have a Space Force Academy or what?
Hopefully.
If there's a Space Force Academy, bet.
Yeah.
So
I'll write her a letter of recommendation.
She's
always been a space cadet.
She's kind of been a bit space cadet. You know, she's like her dad.
Yeah.
Like, but anyways, yeah, I've been running around. We have packed a few boxes. We're still like 7-8 weeks out. So
what's your school situation? Are you guys dying down?
I'm graduating in 2.5 weeks.
Wow.
It's called the Gathering of Eagles next week at the Air Command and Staff College. We have some air power enthusiasts coming to tell us about the great things that they did to better the air and space forces. So
nice.
I'm ready to learn and soak up some knowledge, and then we graduate the week after that, and then I'm going home for a little bit. So
Utah?
Yeah, going to Utah. Okay. Probably going to have to pack a few small box games. Am I right?
Yeah.
Grandpa Beck's coming home with me for sure. About to yo-ho in Cache Valley, baby.
Yeah. Heck yeah, buddy. That's awesome.
What about you, Clay? What have you been up to over the fence?
Oh, man, over the fence. The job hunt's been tough.
Oh.
It's been a struggle, applying and networking and conversating with all types of people. But I did get my first job offer.
No way.
On Friday. And so I have till Monday afternoon to accept. And I think another company might be throwing in a competing offer.
Really?
On Monday as well. So
this is big news.
Yeah, it's been a long time coming. I know, it's only been a few months, but it still feels like an eternity of trying to market myself and make sure I have some money for the family in the civilian world. So that is a big weight off to know at least I will have something going back to Pennsylvania. Somebody is going to employ me, and I'm looking forward to not carrying that burden anymore around. So yeah, it's pretty huge. I'm excited about it. Yeah. But in more fun news, Righteous Gemstones.
Oh, yes. Did you finish it?
Is there one more episode tonight?
I don't know. So Adrian and I are actually, I think on episode like 3 or something like that. And
oh, okay. God, man, it's so good.
Oh my gosh.
It's such a freaking hoot. I don't know how they write that stuff, honestly. Like Danny McBride is crazy.
Oh my gosh, yeah. There's a lot more manhood in this season.
Yeah, Uncle Baby Billy really lets it all hang out.
Yeah.
But I was feeling not so good about myself after seeing Uncle Baby Billy.
Hey, I think Adri even said, she's like, that's got to be fake.
Mary too. I was like, I don't know. It looked real to me. As an expert in the subject.
Next week on Operation Game Night.
Yeah. But yeah, been loving Righteous Gemstones, and Brooks started watching it, and he's loving it too. I think he's through season 2 now.
Yeah.
And so the younger generation's even appreciating that little offbeat humor.
Yeah.
And I finally started watching Severance. Well, I mean, I shouldn't say finally, because Mary and I quit it the first season, like halfway through. But after everybody's been on about it, I was like, maybe it's worth it to just push through.
Yeah.
And the first season was awesome.
Good.
And now we're in season 2. Super glad. I went back and listened to because one of our episodes, I think with Paul Solomon, Travis said some BS from Severance that just went completely over my head. He's like, oh, fresh off of Refining Scary Numbers is Clay. And I was like, what's he talking about? And then he said something to you about Jared just got out of the break room. And I was like, I don't know what this guy's on right now. But now it makes sense. Yeah.
Now you
know. Him and Paul are like, yep. And I was like, oh my God, I don't like being out of the pop culture references. So I'm back in it. All right. Severance is good. Stick it out if you got bored in season 1. This has been the theme of my past few months. Is I went back to Sopranos. Glad I did it because that was amazing. Went back to Severance that I quit on, and it's been amazing. So, sometimes you got to give things a second try.
Yeah. That's a beautiful way to close this one up.
I think so too.
Give that machete a second try on Arnak. Maybe that is a top tier. I'll ask Dallin about it. I bet you it's top. Yeah. I bet you it's top tier.
Yeah, it is.
It's totally
for me, it
tier.
is.
Yeah.
It costs 4 coins. It has to be.
It's totally top tier, Clayton.
Oh my God.
Hey, we're gonna continue. We're gonna finish that game. I bet you.
Okay.
I bet you you get the top row.
Jared, I want to remind you that in the first round, I only used one archaeologist. I think I've pretty much soiled myself. I don't know that there's any way to come back.
No. Actually, you need to call Dallin then. Maybe Dallin can coach you through it. Yeah.
Yeah, if he can get me out of this hole I'm in, then he really is the GOAT.
He is the GOAT.
Yeah. Well, how's Travis end this thing usually? What's he say? Like
he has been Clay, and I have been Jared. And hit that button, Clay.